Cable car bells signaled back to normal after 1889 Great Seattle Fire. Have you ever unearthed an old family photo you'd never seen before? Instantly, it's a treasure. Seattle has its own family album with familiar images of legendary events. To the many photos depicting the aftermath of the devastating June 6, 1889 Great Seattle Fire, this week we add a rare stunner. Its focus is crisp, its vertical orientation unusual, and its composition arresting. The torn corner even contributes charm. Best of all, in spotlighting the fledgling Front Street Cable Railway, it symbolizes Seattle's resilience and determination to rebuild after the fire destroyed the city's 30-block core. Backed by the peaked facade of burned-out Merchants National Bank, this view looks northwest along Front Street, today's First Avenue, just north of its intersection with Cherry Street, along what had been Seattle's showpiece commercial strip. Behind the photographer was what would become the resurrected Pioneer Square. Contrary to a handwritten caption that denotes the fire date, the photo likely was taken days afterward, perhaps on Tuesday, June 18th. That's when the Seattle Post-Intelligencer reported that the private cable line, which had opened 3 months before the fire, was resuming service after repairing its heat-warped underground guide irons. The firm's nattily dressed executives seem to have been among the posers, including a man who appears to be Jacob Firth, president, the only bareheaded gent. Echoing our present-day desires during coronavirus times, local street rail historian Mike Bergman says the photo's message is clear. Hey folks, things are getting back to normal. More efficient electric streetcars were to prevail in the coming century, but in 1889, cable cars were the height of urban transit. Rides cost 5 cents, and cars traveled up to 10 miles per hour. This line ran to and from the terminus depicted here, north along Front Street, jogging to 2nd Street, now Avenue, and over Denny Hill, now the regraded Belltown, to a car barn at Depot Street, Denny Way. For this line, cars traveled in pairs. An open grip car generated movement when a grip man pulled a handle to grasp a moving underground cable, while an unpowered, closed trailer car tagged along. Shown here are number 6 of the firm's 6 grip cars and number 2 of its 6 trailers. The grip man stands, center, in dark uniform. Above his right arm is a cord he would pull to ring a bell alerting the conductor, in striped hat, and pedestrians of a change in speed. Today, the only such manually operated cable railway in the world is, of course, in San Francisco, where 27 single cars propel no trailers. In times when we are not social distancing, it is the only way to come close to experiencing the cable car page of Seattle's family album. In our then photo, with inscrutable countenances typical in photos from the era, 15 men look southeast along Front Street, now First Avenue, while surrounding the number 6 grip car and number 2 trailer car of the Front Street Cable Railway in June 1889, following the Great Seattle Fire. Framing them is the gloomy facade of Merchants National Bank. Today, in place of the 1889 cable car posers, and on the cusp of the 131st anniversary of the Great Seattle Fire, historical photo collecting friends Dan Curley, left, of Magnolia, and Orv Mallet of Federal Way stand at First and Cherry. The 10-story parking garage behind them was built in 1968.